Bliss loves. Bliss, bliss, bliss. Rissa Vibes here, aka Readings by Rissa. So excited to connect with you as always. As you all join in on this beautiful live, take your time to relax, breathe deeply, and settle in. And I'm super excited to connect with all of you today. We've got a lot to discuss. And if this is your first time watching these live weekly readings, welcome. My name is Rissa Vibes, aka Readings by Rissa, and I am a professional intuitive and intuitive coach, which means that I help spiritually curious people and empaths in all walks of life discover their intuitive gifts and learn how to navigate their enlightenment journey. And I really enjoy teaching people how to tap into their intuition. I enjoy watching people grow spiritually. I enjoy seeing them have these amazing aha moments and recognize that they're not alone in the spiritual curiosities that they have and bringing community to them. So that's what we're doing here, bringing community to like-minded individuals, luminaries, healers, intuitives, and just people who are connected to this awareness of spirit. And it's really exciting because every single week we join here live at 1:11 p.m. Central Time, right here on my YouTube channel to discuss the energy of the upcoming week. We also talk about the astrological influences of the week, and we even pull some cards at the end. So I'm super excited to be doing this with you all. Welcome back to all my veterans who've been watching for a couple of years now. Super excited to have you all. Yeah, this is great. And if you haven't been here recently, then this new setup might be new to you. And it is higher quality, better audio, just a really good level up really to these readings, which is really exciting. So I'm super happy to have that. And we do have the super chat enabled now as well. So if I start to share a message throughout this reading that really resonates with you and you feel called to donate, feel free to do so with the little money sign in the chat. No obligation though. This is totally me just providing a service of intuition for you all to have an easier week as you move forward in this week and navigate through it. So let's go ahead and start with a review of last week. I like to go over the energy of last week so that we can really reflect on it before we move forward into the next week. So last week we pulled the love card in the beginning of the week, encouraging us to recognize the power of love and to allow more love into our hearts. And then in the middle of the week, we pulled the forgiveness card, which encouraged us to forgive and to use our ability to forgive through compassion and understanding to help promote more love in an experience and to also help us liberate ourselves from any weight or influence that has been heavy or weighing us down from solutions or things that we were trying to accomplish in our life. And then at the end of the week, we had the Lovers card, which recognized another connection of unity in love and this essence of more than one love, more than one expression of love, this energy of coming together in love. And also with the Venus retrograde last week, we talked about how this is about a reassessment of love, a reviewing of love and a reintegrating of what we want our love to be, redefining our love in our life and working out whatever kinks between ourselves and others or just within ourselves in regards to love that we need to in order to find a clear unity and understanding and harmony amongst love in our life. So lots of love last week, which is actually so perfect because if you are familiar with the way I do my readings, at the beginning of the year, I always pull a card for every single month of that year. So I did that for the beginning of 2020. And for May, we had the Ace of Air card. And so that was all about tapping into our unicorn energy, expressing ourselves fully, being unique and creative and bold in our expression, and really embracing our uniqueness. And so we're leaving that energy this week as we start this week's messages, 5/31, May 31st to June 7th. So the very last day of May today. And so we're leaving that Ace of Air card energy and we're actually moving into June. And the June card energy is, can you guess it? It's love. Yeah, we pulled the love card for June. So it makes total sense that last week we had so much of this progression towards love, and now we're in a love month. And so we're going to be talking about the power of love today in our reading for this week coming up as we enter this month of love for June. It's a powerful month. It's a creative month. June is the 6th month of the year, and the number 6 in numerology really stands for creation. It stands for nurturance as well. It stands for mothering energy. If you look at the 6, it looks like a pregnant mother. The swirl of the 6 is like a mother's womb. And this is an energy of guidance as well, and expression and communication and intuition. So we're going to be talking about the number 6 throughout this reading as well, because it does show up quite a lot. And it is really symbolic for what we're going through as a country, in our own personal lives, and as a mass collective in the world. So let's go ahead and start with the spirit messages of this week coming up, May 31st to June 7th. How are all of you doing? So good to see all of you. Let's check in the chat before we move into the messages. I've got, Nazuka's here. Good to see you, love. Maria's here as well. Linda's here. Good to see you, love. Kiwi. Hey, Kiwi. Linda's here as well. She says, FYI, good people of Seattle are voluntarily cleaning up the damage terrorists caused last night. Cool. I'm glad that the damage is getting cleaned up in your city. And Penny is here. Good to see you. Zelda is here as well. So awesome. All right. And PJ's here too. Good to see you, PJ. All right. So glad to have all of you here. So let's go into the spirit messages of this week. The first message being the power of love. Okay. So June is all about love, and we're opening up the energy of love. We just got done redefining love, reassessing love from last week, and now we're moving into understanding from those perspectives how to step into the power of love. And what's most important right now is to really honor that there are love expressions in so many ways right now. Things going on in the world right now, things going on in your personal life, things going on in your communities. It's about finding places to put love. Where can you insert love? Where can you bring love in to an environment, a situation, a conversation, an interaction, in your own inner dialogue? Where can you bring in love? Because the way I'm seeing it intuitively is that there's a lot of energy going on, right? There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of intensity. There's a lot of buildup going on in our world and in our personal lives as well. And a lot of that buildup seems chaotic, right? So we can kind of look at it like a ball of energy, a chaotic ball of energy, static. But then when you look at that ball of energy, you see that it's moving and it's static and it's chaos. But there's all these little empty spaces in between all of those lines of energy that are chaotic and intense. And in those empty spaces between those lines of energy, that's where we can bring love into. That's where we can sift through all that chaos and insert a loving vibration, hold space for a loving vibration, create space for a loving vibration. Because when we do, that love, when it's put into that ball of chaos, starts to naturally unravel the knots. It starts to naturally spread out the lines. It starts to naturally straighten things out. And it's the love that does the work to create the positive things, the solutions. And so the power of love is real, and it's intense, and it's pure, and it's beautiful if we use it. If we can use it. And that's the biggest thing I'm seeing in this last week, and I'm feeling it for this week coming up, is how are we going to use the power of love? Are we going to ignore love and go right into force, into aggression, into manipulation, into any kind of energies that we've been seeing in our personal lives and in the world, control? Are we going to use love? Or are we going to ignore love? Because love is really what we stand for, right? As a community here on this channel, at least. the love and light community, our web of light community. And so when we choose love, we really have to choose it. And sometimes it's hard to choose it. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. Sometimes it makes others perceive us in a certain way. Sometimes people don't understand how we're choosing love or why. And maybe we have different ways of choosing love, which is also important because there's different layers of the power of love. Sometimes there's love in an aggressive, confrontational conversation that is pure love intention. Sometimes that is love, right? Sometimes love isn't in a forceful action that is harmonious to a specific solution. And so we have to really examine love and how it shows up and how we can fine tune into love and how we can hold space into love, because that is what is going to help us. And with the June energy, 6 being the creative essence, the mother energy, the creator, the feminine, the nurturer, the intuitive. The 6 energy is going to help love create and nurture the solutions that we want to create in our lives between our relationships in love, creating solutions to help us amplify more love and unity, and also in our world in the same way. So how can you bring in love? And we're wanting positive transformation in our lives, and we're using that power of love and that creative essence to do so. And the flower, I think this is cool, the flower of June is the rose, also signifying love, right? The red rose. And I think it's so cool because I'm learning so much more about my birthday month every year. So it's my birthday month. If you guys don't know, I'm a Gemini. My birthday's on June 6th. So I know a lot about the number 6 because of that. That's why I have it tattooed on my wrists, because there's been so much misunderstanding around 6. And then when I realized the power of 6 was all about creating, whatever you put in to this, whatever you're creating is what you're going to get out with the 6. That's what the 6 is all about. What you put in is what you get back. So when we put in love, we'll get back love. But if we put in manipulation, deception, violence, aggression, control, possessiveness, desperation, we're going to get all that back. And I posted a video last week about the shadow aspects of love. And it's so important to watch that, because that allows us to see the polarity and the duality of love in the world and in our lives. And when we can see that, we can start to use the creative energy of the 6 to reverse that energy through the awareness. And the 6th month of June is also the pearl for the stone. The stone of June is the pearl. And I thought that was really interesting too, because how are pearls made? They're made from grit, right? They're made from dirt getting into a clam and kind of infecting it and irritating it, and then slowly building a pearl. The clam builds a pearl around it, this casing, this covering, this protective shell. And then ultimately a pearl is made, a beautiful, priceless, incredibly valuable pearl. And so we also recognize, even in that symbolism, that through duality, and then through this loving tending to that duality, to that contrast, this loving nurturance of it, a beautiful thing can be revealed. And I look at this as solutions. That beautiful pearl are the solutions from things that have not been working, from things that have been opposing and polar and contrasting for a very long time, whether it be in your personal life, communities, or the world. Okay, we're seeing this everywhere on multiple levels. And it's really important to pay attention to this, because we are seeing intense polarity right now. And yesterday I did the Starseed Saturday meditation. I've been doing those every week for the past several weeks. It's been so fun to connect to all my fellow Starseeds on that Facebook page that I've been hosting on. And it's a Facebook group called Starseed Social. And in those meditations, I keep getting all these beautiful messages from our galactic guides to add to our live readings as well. So yesterday we had the intense polarity card pulled. And that card was really powerful. It came from the Orions. And it's a message of duality in our world. And we talked about duality last week, being that we're in the Gemini season now. And the Gemini is all about dualism. It's all about two sides of the coin, two sides of the story, the twin energy, the opposites, the polarity. So we're seeing that from our cosmic guides, from the season, and from our world and our experiences. And so with this polarity, the galactic guides also gave us the card of good intentions. And I loved that because that was another validating force saying that our intentions, our good intentions, are what we want to focus on in order to solve the polarity that we're seeing in our lives and in the world. And so when we can create really pure positive intentions, when we can put that into the world and visualize it, imagine those good intentions becoming real, those good outcomes manifesting, we are able to get back that same result, that same energy, if we can stay consistent and if we can apply the love, the power of love. And if we can really move into a place of believing in that ability to receive that outcome. And so it's a powerful thing. But then the Galactics also ended our meditation with the card stubbornness, encouraging us to pay attention to where we're stubborn in resistance to love, where we're stubborn in resistance to focusing on the good intentions instead of seeing what's not working and what's not good. And really encouraging us to also pay attention to any stubbornness in holding on to the polarity or even fighting against it. So we want to pay attention to where we are stubborn in our life and where stubbornness shows up in our life. And also what is polar opposite in our life? Where are we seeing duality in our life, in our world, in our personal life, in our community? Where are we seeing that? And where are we stubborn in regards to that duality? Because when we can recognize that, we're able to really understand what we're putting in. And that helps us understand what we're getting back and how to do it differently. And that's really what this month is about, and the rest of the year. In 2020, that 2020 vision is about helping us to see the polarity, helping us to see what's opposite, what's not working, what's contrasting, what's really not in alignment. And we've got to look at it, we've got to face it, we've got to study it. And it's uncomfortable to study polarity. It's uncomfortable to study duality. It doesn't feel good to have to look at what isn't going right. But we have to study it, and we have to be strong within ourselves to do so that we can learn what needs to be fixed and where we can put love and where we can redesign things that are not working so that we can actually create solutions. We can actually create those pearls. So pay attention to that and let go of the stubbornness to change. Let go of the stubbornness to step out of your comfort zone. Let go of the stubbornness to stand in your opinion that you've had for years and choose to learn something new. Choose to let go of everything that you think you know. Everything you think you know is right and wrong. Everything you think you know is happening and not happening. Everything you think you know is going to work and not going to work. Let go of all that for a second. And start learning new information. Start looking at the bigger picture. Because when we do that, we see so much more of where we can put love in that chaos of energy and how we can fix and rearrange things for a positive purpose. It also helps us to see what we're doing that is destructive or distracting from what we really should be working on, from even maybe other things that are important to focus on as well. So remember, what you put in is what you get back. So violence begets violence, just like with this police brutality and these riots that are going on and these protests that are going on. Some peaceful protests, some not. Some riots caused by people that weren't even protesting, some not. You know, some good cops, some bad cops, right? Some good protesters, some bad protesters. We don't need to label it. We don't need to call them by names. We don't need to create stories about their energy or what we think they are. They're people. They have families. They're hurting on both sides. There's confusion. Violence has begotten violence. And guess what? When violence begets violence, violence begets violence again and again and again and again and again. For years, for decades, for centuries. So what are we going to do differently that may be really uncomfortable, but might work? And maybe it won't work. And we'll have to try a different thing. But we can't keep trying the same thing. Got to try something different. We got to take away the things that aren't working and replace them with things that might work better. And keep doing that until we find the right solutions. And keep focusing on love, and keep focusing on connectedness, and keep focusing on unity, and keep focusing on bringing the polarity together so that we are not separate, but we become one, like how we were when we were source, before we even became separate as individuals here in this life, separate from the animals and the plants and the elements and each other. There was a time when we were never separate. Let's remember that. Can we remember that? Can we go back to that? And can we try to bring more of that into our experience now to help other people remember that? I think that would be more successful. It might take a little longer. It might take some intense change and shifts. There might be some pushback, but it might work. So we'll see, we'll see what happens. Our light is being tested and challenged right now. That's the next message in this weekly reading. And it's about how are we going to react? How are we going to react to our light being tested? Are we going to step into that light warrior energy where we're going to be like, yes, we are light, and nothing, no darkness, no heaviness is going to mess with my light. I can still look at this. I can still address this. I can still study this. I can still help create solutions for this, but I know I'm light. So I'm not going to let it weigh me down and disempower me. I'm going to take the light that I am and shine it brighter and farther than I ever have before. Shine light of awareness, shine light of education, shine light of spirituality, shine light of intuition, shine light of love into everywhere I can, right? Are we going to react that way as the light warriors that we are? I really hope so. I really hope so. Because right now it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard not to be tempted to fight with more violence or to create more duality. It's hard. And we're going to mess up. We're not going to be perfect in this. There's going to be moments where we're triggered and we're just going to be like, ah. And that's okay too. But if we can remember love of ourselves, love of others, and love of our purpose and how powerful it is, then we can continue building that momentum. So check your intentions as well. Again, the good intentions is what's going to help us through our stubbornness and through our polarity from the galactic guides. And you can go watch that Starseed meditation. You just have to go to Facebook, like Readings by Rissa on Facebook, and then ask to join the Starseed social group. And this is really important too, visualizing the good intentions that we have, visualizing the outcome. This is a powerful practice, and it may feel like it doesn't do anything, but let me tell you, it does. A lot of the things I've manifested in my life, including my international retreat in Belize, the abundance in my life that I have, a lifestyle that I have, the ability to do what I love and my passion and purpose, and not have to work for anyone else in doing so. I have manifested all of that and much more, healing for others, healing for myself, lots of things through visualization. And if we can all visualize together on the positive outcomes of what we're trying to see in the world, I think we can do something powerful. So that's why I'm putting together a live mass visualization very soon. I'm hoping to do it next Sunday. And probably after this reading, I would probably go live probably an hour after this reading with that live visualization. I might even be doing it earlier, but I'm trying to bring a couple people into it with me. And so I'm going to need to check their schedule. So I will be posting about that. Please follow me on Instagram at Readings by Rissa to get all my most recent posts and updates of things like that. I try my best to post in YouTube, and I will do so as best as I can throughout this week for that. But we will do a live visualization, and it's going to be really powerful. And I'll probably do one on Instagram and one on YouTube. We might do a couple of them. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to be really powerful when we put all of our light together to visualize a peaceful outcome for all that's going on in our world. And then I also wanted to encourage everybody to check on your empathic friends right now, because everybody who's empathic is really feeling all this chaos and this craziness in the world with the pandemic, with the things going on in America, the civil uproar and the police brutality. There's just a lot, famine in India and Africa. The locusts are still out in Africa. I think they've come back now. So there's a lot of really, really intense and very biblical symbolism going on as well in the world right now. And we talked about Nostradamus a couple of weeks ago. We talked about Edgar Cayce a couple of weeks ago. We even talked about the Book of Revelation. These are things that we want to pay attention to for a bigger perspective on symbology, so that we understand a little bit more about what we can do to grasp what's going on, and also to affect what's going on in a positive way by catering and nurturing what we need to send light to. And then it's important to also focus on, I think I already talked about this, uniting ourselves in the polarities that we see by pointing out similarities. I don't know if I said it this way, but really bringing in some similarities amongst duality, focusing on that, focusing on connectedness, focusing on unity, focusing on using polarity against itself. This is kind of noticing that the problem with the polarity is that everything is opposite, everything is separate. So if we can use polarity against itself by recognizing, well, what's opposite of separatism? What's opposite of polarity? Unity, right? Connectedness. So if we can do that, if we can focus on that, similarities is also an opposite of polarity. When we can focus on those things, we actually start to cure the polarity in our world and in our lives. So using polarity against itself in a really powerful way. All right, let me check on everybody because I've been ranting and raving and not checking on you guys. How are you all doing? So good to see you all. Hilaire's here. Gayton's here as well. Kayla's here. Thanks for the love, Kayla. So exciting to have all of you here. Oh, thanks for the early birthday wishes, everyone. I love that. And then Amber Lee says, do you believe in cusp energies? Just curious because I'm on a Taurus Gemini cusp, but not all astrologers believe in that energy. I do believe in cusp energies. I believe in hybrid of everything. I'm a total hybrid of the galactics and the earth. I'm a hybrid of races, black and white. I'm a hybrid in a lot of ways. So the cusp energy really resonates with me. I just think it's a hybrid, right? I definitely believe in that. Linda says huge sunbursts are happening right now. Schumann report is crazy. Yes, I definitely saw that too. And we really can expect this. This is something that I don't report as often, only because we've known that solar flares started in excessiveness in 2012 when the consciousness of the earth shifted. And so those solar storms are definitely a part of the change of the sun and the change of our earth and the change of atmosphere and cosmic levels. And that is definitely something to pay attention to, just like the sea levels, just like the Schumann resonance. Paying attention to those things can definitely be another validator of the changes and shifts that we're seeing in the world. Usually I don't report as much about that, but I really love that you are doing so, because that can always help to bring in just a little extra information. Yes, multiple CMEs will be receiving a lot of energy in the next few days, says Ambi Lee. Yes, definitely. And solar flares can also cause a little anxiety. It can cause a little aggression. The sun is all about movement and action and kind of this force. And so the sun can, and masculine energy, so it can kind of give us boosts of that, which we're also seeing in the world. So pay attention to that and how it may be affecting you. All right, y'all, I have a lot of messages to get through, so let's keep going with this. The next few spirit messages is about, let's see. Truths exposed. Yes, we talked about this last week. The truths are being exposed in very, very intense ways right now. And it's so important to pay attention to the ways truths are being revealed. We are seeing that the truth with, the police system is being revealed in even more extremes. We're also recognizing the truth in world issues, in government issues, and social issues being revealed. We're also seeing the truth in, things of scarcity across the world, the famine, the lack of resources, and things being limited, rights being limited, freedoms being limited all over the world. We're seeing this. Just a lot of injustice as well. These are all truths being exposed that we always knew were really happening, but we're finally seeing them in a way that we can't ignore them anymore. We can't be blindly enthusiastic anymore. We have to see them for what they are in order to change them. And this is just the beginning, okay? So as much as this last week has been really chaotic and intense for a lot of people, especially if you're in the States, this is just the beginning. And it's also important to pay attention that there are more truths to be revealed even in what we're seeing. So what we're seeing right now may not actually be true either. That a lot of what we may be seeing right now may have some hidden truths beneath the surface, some things that have been orchestrated or planned out or deliberately manipulated and created to cause certain polarities as well, or certain situations. And this is important to pay attention to in our personal lives as well, because what seems to be something on the surface may not be that thing on the surface. So it's about using your intuition, really discerning what's true by feeling it in your heart. If it doesn't feel right, there's probably something off. So do a little bit more digging. And don't react right off of your first assumption, because you don't know really what is happening. And we're going to have more and more bigger picture perspectives revealed to us. Just like we saw it with the police brutality. At first, it was just a small picture where only the Black community was noticing this. And then the white community and other communities outside of that started to see it more clearly. And they got a bigger picture perspective. And then from there, we're going to see another layer and another layer, not just in that issue, but in all the issues we're seeing with the pandemic, with the governmental systems, things in China, all over the place, we're seeing this happen. Okay, so just pay attention to it. And it's so important with that to help your discernment get clearer by educating yourself. Because if you educate yourself, you're going to learn all the information you need to learn at the roots. Go all the way back to the roots of what you're wanting to study. If you're wanting to understand police brutality, go all the way back to when the police systems were created. If you're wanting to study the pandemic, go all the way back to when viruses started showing up in the world and started affecting humanity. What do they know about the history of that? Because when you go to the root of the information and you learn from there, and it's overwhelming to do so, I know that is. It's overwhelming to learn all that, but it's important to. And we have a beautiful technological age now where we can learn anything, anytime, anywhere we want. So empower yourself through education, because when you learn as much as you can, you're able to see all the different angles of things. You're able to see all the different perspectives, and you're able to give yourself a bigger perspective so that you can have enough information to make educated decisions and educated visualizations for an outcome and educated assumptions for things. And so that is going to help. And then with the education from there, you want to use your intuition, because your intuition is going to pick up the information that you have exposed yourself to, and it's going to sift through all of that and tell you what's really important to focus on and what's not, and what can create solutions and what won't. So this is for our love lives. Educate yourself about problems in your love lives too. Educate yourself about those shadow aspects of love that keep showing up. If you keep feeling yourself being manipulated in your loving relationships, go back to the root. When was the first time you felt manipulated in love? And study that. Study manipulation in love and when that started showing up in the world and when people started researching that and what they've learned about it, so that you can educate yourself and then use your intuition to figure out what the best action to take is going to be. And then from the intuition, so we're educating, we're intuiting, and then finally we're loving above all else. We're shining love of forgiveness, of compassion, of understanding, of nurturing, kindness onto ourselves, onto others, and onto the experience, so we can clear it and move into the solutions. So this is really how we want to process things, because this is powerful, positive, healthy, balanced, and practical ways of processing all the things that are going on, processing polarity, and moving into a new solution. So release what you thought you knew and reassess. And then the last spirit message of this reading before we get into the full moon in Sagittarius, which I'm so excited to talk about. The last message is, let your body recover. Let yourself in general recover. Especially you empaths out there, the energy is intense. Take care of yourself, please. Make sure that you're taking nice baths to relax yourself. Make sure you're not watching too many of the repeated violent videos and aggressive things if it's triggering you. Give yourself a break. And make sure you're taking care of your mind. Noticing any negative thoughts, depression, anxiety, panic that are starting to come up, trauma, and getting help, getting mentoring, getting guidance to clear that, or looking up, researching, educating yourself on different ways to help yourself cope. Okay? Affirmations, breath work, yoga, meditation, connecting with others, venting to others that understand, shining light with where light is needed. All these things are ways to cope and heal and process through this stuff. So please take care of yourself. I did post a shining light meditation a little bit before this reading, so it's up on the YouTube channel now. Go check that out. That's a really great meditation / prayer that you can listen to and participate in repeatedly throughout this upcoming week and throughout the year whenever you need it, to help you heal and help your heart heal from anything that you may be feeling empathically from what's going on in the world, especially in the States. All right. And let's also focus on no supremacy of anything. No supremacy of any kind. No white supremacy, no black supremacy, no rich supremacy, no poor supremacy, just all equal, all humans, all one source. Okay? So let's keep remembering to go back to the source. We're all one. And not to let the distractions of polarity keep us from remembering our connection to the one source that we all have. Because there are a lot of distractions and a lot of manipulations that are maybe not even visually able to be perceived yet from other entities or collectives or communities that we might not even be aware of. Okay, so pay attention. Little Jamesy is here. What's up, Jamesy? Linda says, I have an odd question. Why have I been removing my jewelry slowly, gradually, until now I can wear everything? I love my stones. My throat feels like I'm being choked all the time. I don't know, Linda. I'm not sure. That's something I would have to tap in for you, which I will have to do at another time privately. But I would look into maybe what your jewelry are representing, maybe your stones, and notice if they have similar themes, if the stones that you're wearing have similar themes. Maybe you've been wearing them too much and it's causing an overabundance of that energy. And so you need to balance out, because sometimes when I wear a crystal too long, especially if it's one of my really intense ones, it'll start affecting my mood, my energy, my vibration, and maybe an over exaggerated exaggerated way. And then I have to take that jewelry off for a little bit and kind of give it some time to balance my energy out. So that's my initial response to that. But if you have more questions, feel free to reach out to me personally. Yeah, sounds good. All right, love. So let's go ahead and get into the Sagittarius full moon for this last part of the reading. How are we all doing? Thumbs up if you're good. Let's take a nice deep breath just to clear any of the empathic energy that we just generated from that. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Big breath out to relax. Another deep breath in. Big breath out. One more deep breath in. Big breath out. Let the vibration carry away any stress, any heaviness, any energy you don't want. Let that vibration carry it away. Cleansing the body, breathing deeply. Mind, body, and soul harmony. We're manifesting through love also. That's the last message I had for you that I almost forgot, is we're manifesting through love. And so we just cleared the energy of that duality. Now we can step into this energy of love, and we can stand strong in the way we can create through love for this June month. So let's talk about the Sagittarius full moon. This is exciting. It happens on the 5th of June. Okay, so that's Friday. And it's really exciting because the 5th of June, 2020 is a 15 numerological day. But if you reduce that even more, it's a 6, right? So we're getting another 6 there. And it's cool because the, what is in 6? The eclipse and the actual moon itself is in 15 degrees as well. And that reduces to a 6. So we have another 6. And this is really exciting. So we have a 666 code here. And Mars is also in 15 degrees, which is what makes it a 666. So we've got the Sagittarius moon in 15 degrees, reducing to 6. We've got the day, numerologically 15, reducing to 6. And then we've got Mars in Pisces with a T square in 15 degrees, which reduces to a 6. So, and 15 is the number of alchemy. And so it's also so symbolic because the 6 is the number of creation. You know, what you put in is what you get, which is this message. And then 15 is actually an alchemist number. So we're feeling alchemy from the Sagittarius full moon. We're learning how to create something beautiful from something not beautiful, right? So creating love from duality, creating unity from separation, creating, harmony from disharmony. And so we have a lot of power to do so with the Sagittarius full moon, which is so beautiful that we have that support from the stars. And we also have an eclipse. And the eclipse is when the sun passes over the moon and blocks the light, right? And so, or the moon passes over the sun, one of the two. Somebody post it. I can't remember which one does which, but you get what I'm saying. And so they go over each other. And this is where the shadows are exposed by the light. The darkness is exposed by the light. And so we're seeing that through the truth being revealed. We're seeing that through the energy of this experience that we're in the world as well. And we're noticing how these shadows are being exposed by the light and how it's creating a shift of energy. And it's cool because also the full moon in Sagittarius happens at 12:12 p.m. Pacific time in California. And so that number 12, that 12:12 activation, we've got 4 6s in that because 6 plus 6 is 12, and we've got 2 12s there. So we've got even more 6 energy there. And the 12 itself also represents faith and productivity and your passions and purpose activating as well. So we're going to feel that also, that through the shadows that we're experiencing, light is exposing new truths that are helping us to step into our passions and purpose and to have faith in ourselves in that way. And this is a powerful, powerful energy. And with that, I want to talk a little bit about the the Mars 15 degrees in Pisces. Let's go into that first, because there is this T-square. And the T-square with Mars in Pisces, we've got Mars, which is very active. It's very sometimes aggressive. It's kind of a warlike energy, but it's a forceful energy and a passionate energy. And then Pisces is intuitive and emotional and deep and even dualistic in nature as well. And so with that energy combined with this square, they're squaring off. This means that there's some aggression, there's some deep emotions, there's some sensitivities that are causing a lot of irritation. And so we want to really pay attention to that. And we want to notice that that's an astrological influence as well, to help us to pull back some of that aggression if we're feeling it and to redirect it. And we can channel that energy into creative abilities, into our creative expressions through music, through art, through dance, through writing, through communication and creating space and creating opportunity and creating solutions. So that's what we want to do with that aggression. We don't want to waste it on excessive or destructive things. We want to hone it in and channel it into something that's going to really be helpful, that's really going to help us alchemize things. And the 15 degrees, so Mars is 15 degrees and that 15 is coming up again. It's also a magician number. So we're literally able to create magic. We're able to create miracles with it if we can channel it right. Okay, so that's really important. So we want to resolve any emotional tensions through communication, through creativity, and through connection. This is also going to offer us healing. This Sagittarius full moon is really going to offer us healing from the duality of last week and some of the duality of this week that we're going to also continue to experience. And so we want to allow the Sagittarius energy to heal us in that way. So let's talk a little bit about the Sagittarius. And this is going to affect all of the signs. And so when we have a Sagittarius full moon, or we have a Venus full moon, or whatever we have, not a Venus, a Virgo full moon, or whatever we have, then we really want to recognize that we're feeling the influence of that sign. It doesn't mean that only the Sagittariuses are getting these activations. It means that the Sagittarius energy is activating all signs. And so the Sagittarius full moons are all about release. So first of all, we're all going to be releasing some things, releasing excessive duality, releasing shadow, releasing things that aren't serving us and aren't harmonizing or harmonious in our life. And then the Sagittarius brings forth an energy of joy. It also brings forth expansion and growth. Sagittariuses are always full of wisdom, and they're able to express that wisdom, and they like to express it. Sagittariuses are also focused on justice to a certain degree. So we have an energy of wisdom and helping justice be attained through wisdom. And Sagittariuses are fire signs as well. So there's this energy of trailblazing and leadership with them. And also a little bit of that heightened passion as well. So that can be where Mars can help get things aggressive and cause some anger. So we also want to pay attention to that. But overall, the Sagittariuses are also full of life, and they've got an inner child curiosity and creativity within them. And they're really good at encouraging a certain level of positivity amongst any duality. And so they're really going to help us. And the energy of the Sagittarius for this full moon is really going to help us find positivity amongst duality. And I also got the message that it's important to study and educate ourselves this week, and that the Sagittarius full moon is also bringing forth some cosmic activations to encourage us to study and educate ourselves. So don't resist any needs to study things. Make sure you're learning all that you can, and make sure you're learning new things and letting go of what you thought you knew, like I said earlier. Okay, so with that being said, I think that's all. Oh, I actually have a couple of one more other thing about the Sagittarius full moon, and then I'll go into a couple of more astrological events influences. So the sun is conjuncting Venus during this Sagittarius full moon. I think it's very important to pay attention to all the Venus influences, because we're still in Venus retrograde until June 25th. And Venus has been a big player in our moons lately. It was a big player in our Gemini new moon, being that it went retrograde during the Gemini new moon and had a lot of energy in reference to the Gemini season, allowing us to love and communicate through love and learn how to communicate in our love life more easily and more harmoniously. And so Venus now in this moon is conjuncting with the sun, and the sun is bringing forth an action for us to act on our beauty, to act on our pleasure, to act on our love energy and our expression of love, because that's what Venus symbolizes. And it also symbolizes expansion and abundance. And so we want to act on things that inspire our pleasure and abundance in our lives, because that's going to be very successful for us. Now, we also have a very strong divine feminine energy with this full moon in Sagittarius. And we've been feeling that divine feminine energy even with the Venus retrograde and the Gemini new moon last time as well, because that Venus energy represents the divine feminine. And right now we're feeling this 13 energy with that. And the 13 represents the divine feminine. We saw the Venus retrograde on the 13th of May, so bringing in more of that divine feminine then. And then we also had that new moon in Gemini on a 13-day numerologically. So that 13 is showing up, letting us know that yes, the divine feminine is rising with that Venus influence even more. And let's think a little bit about this. What does the divine feminine really bring forth for us in strengths and skill? Well, it brings energy of intuition, of nurturance, going back to that 6 energy of motherhood and connectedness to that ability to create new life and create new energy. It also is a multitasking energy. Women are so good at multitasking and doing all sorts of things at once. They're also good at listening to different perspectives and seeing things from different angles and figuring out how to bring everything together, how to be the glue in a family, the matriarch, right? And this creative, intuitive, and even mysterious and sensual, romantic, loving energy that brings forth persuasion for solutions in a positive way. So how can we bring in and continue to allow this divine feminine to rise as it is right now in our world within us is super important to cater to right now. So cater to your intuition, cater to your self-care and care of others, cater to your compassion centers and love centers, cater to the ways in which you're feeling called to express and connect with others, because this is what's going to help the energy really build in our world. And I always say, you know, we're vortexes of energy in our communities, in our lives, in our world. So when we do the things we need to do to heal duality in our within ourselves, to bring more love into chaos in our lives and in ourselves, to connect more with our intuition, to be more positive and expand positively. When we do all of that for ourselves, we create that vortex of energy that we're constantly, everywhere we're going, radiating that energy into the people we're interacting with, who are going to take that energy to the people that they're interacting with, and we're creating that web of light. And that's why I love having this community and why I love so much joining with you every single Sunday at 1:11 p.m. Central Time, because we get to be that vortex. And yes, there's protests out there going on across the world. If you feel called to protest, go protest. But there's also a different kind of war that we are battling in a different kind of way right here every week. Whoa, I just saw like a weird light come from my light. That was crazy. That was like an angel light came off my light, like at me. That was really nuts when I said that. But yeah, that's what we're doing. And I'm getting validation in the room now with all these things happening. So that's cool. So let yourselves follow your own intuition. If you don't feel called to protest and you're feeling pressured by people, let them pressure you and just honor yourself, because it's all about how you feel you need to deal with this as an empath, as a spiritual person, and just do your part, you know, be integritous, do your part. And as long as you're doing your part, you know you're good. And that's all that matters. And thanks for connecting here, because we're doing our part here in our own way by sending the frequencies of love and recognizing the power of love in our own consciousness so that we can affect that power of love into the consciousness of others. I love doing that. It feels so good. May Mother Isis bring peace and love onto this world. Yes, Phil, I agree. Mother Isis is definitely here with us, the cosmic mother, really shining down a light, a vibration, a cosmic frequency to help us step more into our creative power, our conscious creative power, and to own the power of love in doing so and create solutions where we need solutions. Oh, I love it. So beautiful. Yes, 4-day. Phil, thanks for the 444 donation. It is a 4-day. And 4 days, any 4 days are all about really allowing ourselves to bring order amidst chaos. And so I love the 4s for that. And it also helps us to call on our guides as well. All right, last little bit here. I'm going to finish up with just a couple more astrological influences of this week before we pull cards. And so the first astrological influence of the week is on the 2nd of June. And it's a 12 numerological day. So bringing in that 12 number again with faith, with purpose, with passion, and allowing us also to progress in energy and progress in harmony on a body, mind, and soul level. Venus squares Mars that day, so another Venus influence, creating a sensual sense of creativity and a sensual sense of manifestation, which is great. So romance your dreams, romance your ideas, romance your manifestations on the 2nd of June. And then one of my favorite days ever, June 6th, my birthday, 6/6/2020. This is the day of human love. And it brings in a double code of that 6 number with the mother, the pregnant belly, and the sense of nurturance and mothering and connection and guidance and creation. And I love this because I was just reflecting on this personally today when I was writing this out, that on Mother's Day, like so many people reached out to me and said Happy Mother's Day to me. And it was almost like so many people said it that it made me feel kind of weird because I was like, I'm not a mom. And everybody knows I'm not a mom, like I don't have an actual child. I have a dog, you know? But then I realized like I am the energy of the 6. Like I'm 6/6/89 and I've always felt super resonant to the 6. And I'm actually a life path 3, which is a numerological aspect of 6. And so I'm just always connected to 6. And so it makes sense that people would see me as that nurturing, mothering energy. And I guess what I do makes me that way. So just brings forth that like validation of the 6 being that nurturance, that mother, that creative energy. And helped me to kind of see that in myself, which was cool. And the sun squares Mars on the 6th of June, which is going to energize us, but it's going to energize us through some tension because Mars creates a little tension. It creates a little pressure. And so you may feel a little irritable, a little bit under pressure on the 6th, but that pressure is going to stimulate action for positive growth. So let yourself channel that pressure into action. It's going to kind of put a fire under your booty to do something that's going to be helpful for you. So those are the astrological influences of this week. And let's see if there's anything else that I put down. See the big picture. Make sure to make your obstacles your opportunities. We talked about that last week as well. And yeah, I think that's it. So let's go ahead and pull some cards as we finish out our beautiful, beautiful reading. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining. We have 16 people on right now, which is my other favorite number. 616 is my favorite number. 6 is my, 6 number, and then 16 is my favorite number, so I love it. All right, I'm going to ring the bells as you all take some deep breaths before we pull cards. All right, they're having me use a lot of chimes today. The sound frequencies are breaking up any polarity, any stubbornness, any distraction, any resistance. So they're just having me use the sound frequencies a lot today, which is great. So thank you guys for that. All right, we've got our beginning of the week card pulled from the Angels of Atlantis deck. Let's see what we have for the middle of the week. That one came up. Let's do the end of the week. Goddess Isis. We usually do Goddess Isis for the moon, but I'm feeling her for the end of the week. And we'll actually do And then we'll actually do the Voyager deck for the moon. So I'm super excited because I also have an announcement. On the second Saturday of this month, which is June 13th, I believe, right? June 13th? I think it's June 13th. I'll be doing a channel and chill. So I'll be giving you all the information for that over this week as well on my Instagram at Readings by Rissa. And that channel and chill should be available on live stream and in public. I'm going to be back at Abundance Space. We are reintegrating into the in-person events, but we're starting slow. So we may be limiting the number of people who sign up. So if you're interested in that and you're in the Arizona area, make sure to sign up quickly by emailing me readingsbyrissa@gmail.com, or you can DM me at readingsbyrissa on Instagram, okay? But I'm super excited to be bringing the channel and chills back, and also to be providing them live for everybody who wants to join virtually. So if you already know that you want to be a part of that, definitely reach out to me. And this channel and chill is going to be a little different. I'm going to be introducing some practices as well on how to help you learn how to channel and how to deepen your channeling ability. So I'm going to start adding definitely reach out if you're ready to sign up for that, but I will give you more information next week as well. All right, first card, beginning of the week. Oh, I love this card. It's the Grace card. I hope you guys can see that well. I'm trying to hold it close, but I don't know if it's really doing it. But it is the Grace card. It is a beautiful white dove, and it is a blue energy. This is the third eye. So really helping us to have a graceful insight, helping us to see things with grace, perceive things with grace in the beginning of the week, helping us to really see the bigger picture, use our discernment, and allow ourselves to move with grace. And the way I'm feeling this card is really a sense of softness. Not being too hard on yourself, not being too judgmental in general, not letting aggression get the best of you, and being as graceful as you can as you process some of these polarities we've been seeing. Middle of the week card. I love this card, and I think this is so productive. The music card. The music card. And this card is really great because, oh, maybe you can see it better here. This card is really great because this is letting us know that healing through music, healing through frequency, just like I was talking about with the tones and how we're breaking up energy by ringing the bells. And we're also setting intentions by ringing the bells. So using music, using frequency tones to set intentions, to create with, and to also help you heal and find balance and harmony is going to be great. Because in music, it's all about harmony, right? So we can really study music and learn a lot from the way in which music harmonizes to help us learn how to harmonize things in our life. End of the week card. I love this card. It's a Goddess Isis card. And the card itself is the Ancient Power Mysteries card. And it says that the oracle guide you to honor the power of your voice, whether through spoken or sung words, or through what you write, speak about, or stand for symbolically. You have a potentially very powerful healing voice, and you are guided to recognize the responsibility that you have for what you proclaim through your voice. So be clear with your communication, be specific with your communication, and be conscious with your communication, and careful with it as well. Be very attuned to what you're saying and use the power of your voice in a productive and practical way. And make sure that you think before you speak, and that you allow your power of your voice to shine through in the way that you intend to, bringing your good intentions forward through your communication, okay? Oh my gosh, end of the week card, no way. We got the Lovers card again for the end of the week, you guys. Like, how crazy is this? This is the second time in a row it's shown up at the end of the week. And this is the third time love has shown up in the last 2 weeks in our readings in the cards. So more love energy continuing through into the first week of June. We know that the June month is love. So they're just reminding us that bringing ourselves together through love and recognizing that there is a lot of opportunities for love in this world. Even when it may not seem like that on the surface, there is a lot of that love. And this isn't the end of the week card. I almost messed that up. It's actually the full moon card. So Sagittarius full moon is bringing us into more love as well, and reminding us to connect in that way and to heal through the power of love and connection. All right. I am so happy I got to connect with you today. It's always so fun. I always look forward to it. I always count down the days till my readings. And I hope that you all also go check out that Shining Light meditation that I just posted. If your heart's been hurting or a little heavy with everything going on, that is definitely going to help. Make sure to share that meditation with anybody you feel like needs it as well. If you know some people that are struggling in your life. It can also be a really great way to check on people and provide them some solutions and some healing right then and there from whatever they're feeling. And also the Starseed meditations yesterday. So check that out. Go request a Starseed social gathering on my Facebook group under Readings by Rissa, and you can go check out all those meditations. And then again, if you want to sign up for the Channel and Chill on the second Saturday of June, please message me, readingsbyrissa@gmail.com. And that's all I have for you. I love you all so much. I'll be keeping you posted on the live visualization that I want to put together. I really don't know when I'm going to do it. I just know I want to do it. So give me a little time on that, but I will be doing it shortly and as soon as I can. I want it to be a really cool experience. So I'm trying to bring a couple people in on it. So I'll keep you posted. And I love you so much. Have a wonderful Sunday. Keep your heart strong. Keep love in your heart. Keep lifting your heart and shining light where light is needed. And I will talk to you soon. Peace.